tube. Then they gave findings that both of them acted in ways that constitute conduct that should be punished. And these issues were by and large on a 10-2 vote for most of them. We had 10-2 almost all the way down. And so what do we have now? Now we've got a punishment phase. We put the net worth of both companies in front of the jury. And then having put that net worth there, the lawyers had 20 minutes per side to argue. And we've done that argument, and now the jury goes back to make a decision of whether or not it's appropriate to put a financial fine, a punitive damage figure on this case. And that's what we're waiting for now. And once we get that finding, the jury will be discharged. The judge has indicated she will probably visit with the jury herself, and then she would like some of the lawyers to visit with those jurors who want to stay and visit with lawyers. Then and only then do we come out and are we able to visit with you. Kaylee has asked me that she does not want to get in front of the cameras. She is averse to that, but she did want me to express her appreciation publicly for the work of the court, for the work of the jury, and for the work of the media in helping to recognize what the first social media addiction trial is all about. And that's a very serious issue, not only here to California and the U.S., but to the world. So with that, I'm glad to take a couple of questions.
Why did you not ask for a specific number in the punitive damages? We know that you talked about the 415 peanut M&Ms and talked about a handful not making a difference, but why did you not give a specific number?
The question is, why did I not give a specific number on punitive damages? I have gotten, I don't know, $15, $20 billion plus in punitive damages in my career, and I've never asked for a specific number. So I wouldn't know where to start. I think jurors are pretty smart about that. My goal is to say, here's how much money means to these people. And so in light of that, here's how much you should assess. I say that one time. In 2005, against Merck, I told the jury to award $220 million because of a fact in that case, and the jury did. But generally, I've never asked them to award punitive damage amounts. I leave that up to them.
What message does the court send?
All right. Okay, these two questions are the same. Let me talk about the message that's sent already. This message is one that's important to Kaylee and her family, but it's of very great importance to a generation of people who have been affected. We've had a number of family members who have been so diligent to be here to lend moral support, prayer support, emotional support during this trial. There are so many families who've been tragically hurt through the addiction of social media. And while we've never been able to talk about the content of what these social media platforms can do, that's protected under the judge's rulings, we have been able to talk about the features. And we've sent a message with this that you will be held accountable for the features, regardless of whether the children are getting sent pornographic pictures, regardless of whether they're being sexploited, regardless of those types of issues. Just because of the features alone that drive addiction, these companies can be held accountable. That's a huge message for these companies. Yeah. Huh? One of the hardest things to do for us ordinary people is to figure out how to speak in economic terms these companies understand. Because these companies, Google's net worth was set in front of the jury by agreement at $415 billion with a B. That's $415,000 million. How on earth do you ever find that entity for what behavior we're talking about here? And so I just took a jar of M&Ms that had 415 M&Ms in it. And I showed it to the jury. And I said, you can grab a handful out. You don't even notice they're gone. But that's 20 M&Ms. That's $20 billion to these companies.
What will $3 million indicate?
$3 million, you know, these are interesting. And the public doesn't always know what this money does. First of all, to try this case, look at this sea of people behind me. This sea is just one drop of who we had. We had 40 people down here in 40 hotel rooms for 2.5 months, and all of those types of expenses, along with all of the expert fees, along with everything else, has to come out of the money. And so it's so expensive to pursue a case like this. It takes an army of these incredible lawyers to team up together. These are from different firms. We've got every firm there. We've got the famous Wagstaff and Cartmel firm from Kansas City here. We've got Beasley Allen from Alabama. We've got Morgan & Morgan from every city that's got a billboard. We've got countless law firms here, including my own, because it takes that much money and that much effort. So by the time you put all of that into the formula and you credit some settlements that may have already been come, I'm not sure how much of a difference it makes to Kaylee. That'll have to be an accounting question. But I will tell you, as a result of this, Kaylee's life will be different, and rightfully so. Oh, yeah, they'll appeal this all day long. Yes. How does it feel to get this money?
Like a weight off.
Yeah, these folks behind me, including my sweet daughters to my left and right, these folks behind me have carried a burden of this case for a long, long time. The Social Media Law Center has carried a burden behind this for a long, long time. And I've shouldered some weight of that during the trial with the help of my friends. But it's like this entire, you've seen the photographs of Atlas, with the world on his shoulders. It's like that weight's been set aside, and it's a cause for rejoicing. I'm a man of faith, and so I love the proverb that's found in the Bible that says, the horse is trained for battle, but the victory belongs to the Lord. I feel like what we're about here is something beyond just trying to make a buck, beyond just trying to help Kaylee. I feel like we're about something that is incredibly socially important and responsible. And I feel like we've made a great step forward. And I am thankful to God as I understand Him. I hope you are to God as you understand Him, her, or whatever your faith may be. But this is a righteous event and a righteous moment that makes me proud to be an American and proud to be a lawyer.
Mark, how will this change things? Is this a landmark moment, you feel?
This is a landmark moment. It will reverberate. I'll tell you this. If the jury had returned to no, the champagne corks would be popping in the boardrooms of Google and Meta. But instead, Mark Zuckerberg has to take a phone call. And the only thing he's waiting for now is to find out if there are going to be punishment damages. Yeah. Europe has some unique aspects to it. I know that Europe is tuned in. We've been in a great dialogue with a number of different media sources over in Europe that are dying to know what's going on. And I think that the European government, I think The Hague will be very responsive. I know the individual country governments are responsive. And I think that you're going to see even more legal changes that will alter the landscape of social media attraction and opportunity for those young child developing brains. Yes, Kaylee? Kelly? That's a great question. You know, inside the company's documents at Meta, they had some people who were asking, one day when all of this stuff gets out, are we going to be the big tobacco? Is that what we are? You know, are we trying to sow doubt about whether or not this is really damaging, like big tobacco worked for generations to sow doubt about whether or not tobacco really caused cancer? And I think what we've got right now is the beginning of an answer to that. I think we've got the beginning of an answer that says addiction is a serious issue, and it's an issue that should be dealt with. And you know, as Rachel wrote me a note while I was doing the closing on rebuttal on punitive damages, Rachel's note just underlined children, 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 because that's what this is really about. You know, if you're 35 years old and you get addicted to YouTube and Instagram, well, shame on you. But to take that preteen, to take that teenager whose mind is still developing, and to be fully aware of how you can use a casino effect, which is what the YouTube documents talk about, using a casino effect on a young developing mind, that's outrageous. And I think that we'll get some responses. All right, I'm going to go back in. Y'all do your good work, and thank you for all you do. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
How are you? Not much, not much. How's everything at the California Post?
Things are great.
Are you enjoying it?
Yeah.
Great.
Loving it, man.
So
we were over there this morning, and we honored Sheila.
Hey all, we're hearing parents are going to come out and gaggle shortly in a few minutes. Just a heads up.
I know.
Here we go. Here.
Hey, everyone.
Come on, Laura, everybody.
Okay. All right. I'm kind of I think we're all out of words to express what we feel, and being in that courtroom and hearing those answers from the jury, it's really validated, been a complete validation of what we've been screaming on the top of roofs about for years. This was not this was a conscious decision that they made. It was not an accident, and parents are not to blame. That's for sure. They knew the harm, right? They knew the damage. They assessed the risk, and they moved forward anyway. And from my opinion, that's, that's incorrigible. And this is about a thing being right or wrong. This is not about some business decision. There's a right thing to do and a wrong thing to do, and they are on the wrong side. So for them, for the big tech executives, I want to say something. Stop blaming the parents. It's on you. And this is what this is showing today. And for parents, we now know that they were manipulating our children for profits while we were watching and trying to keep our families safe. They are the predators. I have a little bit more.
No more looking away.
Yeah, parents, no more looking away. We're headed, this is not over. We know this is a long game. We're headed to D.C. with the evidence we have in hand and this verdict, and we're demanding safety protections and legislation to keep kids safe online from our legislators. And we have a message for them. We don't want any more hearings. We don't want any more loopholes in these bills. We don't want any more of them shielding big tech. Enough is enough. We want them to do their jobs and keep American families safe. And I think what we found right now is big tech is predator number one right now in this world. So I want to say that we're not going to give up. This is not a sprint. It's not even a marathon. This is, Iron Man, okay? And we are not giving up till we get to the finish line. There we go.
And for everybody on Capitol Hill, for everybody on...
Oh, excuse me. Juliana Arnold.
And you're the mother of?
Coco.
Hold on.
No, we're going to have another statement and then we can take questions.
I want everybody here, every parent here to say their child's name. Annalise Shot, Colorado.
Coco Conar, Los Angeles.
Alexandra Hanks, San Rafael. England Roberts, Louisiana.
Alexander Neville, Orange County, California.
Annalise Shot, Colorado.
Riley Bassford, Potsdam, New York.
Eric Robinson, Santa Monica, California.
We have fought on Capitol Hill to get reforms through. Nobody heard us. Capitol Hill, hear us now. If it was not for these trial lawyers to get us to this place in time, we would not have this opportunity today to show the world the harms that big tech knew they were doing. So enough. Invite us parents to Capitol Hill. Let's fix this. Big tech, us. Let's make this world a better place. But parents, we need you to join in with us because it stops today. Big tech, your gig is over.
Yep.
Oh, God damn it.
Say your name.
What's that?
Lori Shot, Colorado.
So we'll take a couple of questions and then we got to get them to lunch so they can get back to us.
There's only one plaintiff in this lawsuit. This is Kaylee's lawsuit. We're part of the JCCP, which is the larger group, but this is not our case. We are part of the JCCP, yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think positively about them. Oh, sorry. I mean, I think that they're still new and we're figuring out how they would work and seeing what's going on in other countries that are implementing them. I think they have value, but I'd really still like to see these companies, do what's needed to design their platforms safely for kids now and in the future. And as we move on to AI, that's even more important because kids are dying from AI chatbots as we speak. And that's not okay either. So we need to pull them in or it's just going to be out of control. So
I was honest about how old my son was 5 years ago. They knew he was 15, and still a predator with 50 fraudulent accounts was able to contact him and lure him and shame him in 5 hours. And they knew he was 15. They didn't let him use Marketplace because he wasn't old enough. Sure, I want age verification, but I know how smart these kids are. The platforms have to have a duty of care. They have to have transparency and reporting like every other industry. No more denying that they know what they are doing. They will stop at nothing to keep these kids' eyes on the screen, and that's the message. No family is alone in this. Every kid with a cell phone, with any device, with a camera and connection to the internet is in danger. Even if you're honest about their age, they do not care about these kids except for the money that they make for them. And it's time for the executive branch and the legislative branch to step up like the warriors have here and helped us and point out how far behind we are in having basic expectations that these companies protect children.
No more allowing them to self-regulate.
And can I just say that it's not fair? We shouldn't have to keep their customers safe on their product. Like, we shouldn't have to do that. That is not all down to the parents. They know this. And if social media was the gateway drug, AI is like the crack and heroin, and it moves fast. And tech moves very fast, and government does not. So they need to catch up, because by the time we get legislation, this is a victory, and we all feel vindicated. But until it has to be coupled with legislation, because this could just be like, okay, this is just the cost of doing business, and then they go back to doing it. And we hope that that's not the case. So it has to be coupled with legislation.
Yeah, and again, for our legislators, there are bills on the table in the House right now. The Senate version of the Kids Online Safety Act. We worked for years to get that passed in the Senate in 2024, 91-3. That's what we're looking for, that version, not the House version, but the Senate version. And also talking about what we're going to do about Section 230, reforming Section 230 so we can have a voice and we can take action against these companies. That's the only way they're going to stop, is we hit them in their pocketbook. So we need to really look at this and understand where we are right now with this law that is 30 years old. We need to reform it, and we no more excuses anymore that it's just impossible. Nothing is impossible. And our kids' lives depend on it, and the future of this country depends on it, because those kids are going to be the ones that are supposed to lead our country. What are we going to do if they can't even think or talk and so depressed and anxious? I mean, come on, wake up.
Yeah, these social media companies have created an anxious generation. Our kids were the first cohort in the guinea pigs in this social media experiment, and we have lost a whole generation, and so it's not fair that what they're doing to our kids, and they know this. The tech companies are knowingly and intentionally preying upon the fragile psyche of teenage girls in particular, and they know this.
I want to say a word about something.
My name's Victoria Hinks.
I really want to say a word. Oh, I'm sorry.
Victoria Hinks. Sorry, Victoria Hinks from San Rafael, California.
I just want to say a word about something that is often forgotten about, which is challenges and dares that proliferate everywhere. My son died. Next month will be 16 years ago, before we had a clue of what these companies were doing. And just in the news, February 3rd, a 9-year-old girl in Texas died from, nowadays most of it's called the Blackout Challenge. When he died, it was called the choking game. It goes by hundreds of different names, and it's often misclassified as suicide. These are healthy kids who aren't depressed, who think they are trying something safe. And this is, COSA would cover it. The Senate version of COSA would help tremendously towards this. And I just wanted to chime in about us parents who are victims of a different kind of harm online that is often forgotten about. There is another family who lost a 12-year-old it wasn't publicized in the news, but they reached out to me personally of the blackout challenge as well in February. So there are 2 deaths in February, one public on the record, one not, and thousands of them, so many misclassified as suicide. So I just want to shine a light on that as well while we have the spotlight, because those are going to trial separately, as I understand it.
Right.
And I'm not a plaintiff because of the age of he died too long ago at this point. But personally today, I feel vindicated. I knew something was wrong along the way. I had been doing research on my own.
She's a warrior, so stop making her do your job.
Exactly. And
I feel vindicated and validated.
One important thing that we need to remember, that was 16 years ago. The first should have been the last. And here we are. All right? And he was not even the first. So we can talk about choking challenges, fentanyl deaths, suicide, sextortion, name it. The first should have been the last, and it should have never happened to begin with. So let's do something about it.
It would have been YouTube at the time only because that was the only thing around. You've got to look at the context. 2010, I had a first-generation smartphone. What's that? Thank you.
Victoria. Amy, can you take Elsa for me? Go on, Elsa. We gotta get her to her owner.
All right. Thank you so much. Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Okay, great. Great.
Ah, yeah. No mic flag?
No, not in 42.
What the f?
It's how it is, man. I'm just like, what is going on?
Yeah,
I love
there's...
when a cable's wrapped properly and you can just...
right?
My favorite feeling in the world.
this is our Meta spokesperson. Hi, everyone. Absolutely. My name is ASHLY, Ashley, NIKKOLE, Nicole Davis, DAVIS, and I am a Meta spokesperson. We respectfully disagree with the verdict and will appeal. Teen mental health is profoundly complex and cannot be linked to a single app. We will continue to defend ourselves vigorously, as every case is different, and we remain confident in our record of protecting teens online. Thank you. Thank you. Yep. You let us know when you're ready. I'm going to wait for us to say when.
There's one more minute.
Yeah, sorry.
I think there was a one more minute. Take your time. Absolutely. It's Ashley Nicole Davis. Absolutely.
Ready? Okay.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ashley Nicole Davis, and I am a Meta spokeswoman. We respectfully disagree with the verdict and will appeal. Teen mental health is profoundly complex and cannot be linked to a single app. We will continue to defend ourselves vigorously, as every case is different, and we remain confident in our record of protecting teens online. Thank you. My name is Ashley Nicole Davis. That's spelled ASHLYNIKKOLE, Davis, common spelling. A Meta spokeswoman. Thank you.
Thank you.
You know what? Sorry to jump in. It could also be both of you. Like, it doesn't have to be one or the other. If, I mean, when
can touch the ground. And Victoria, bring your side forward a little bit. There we go. Stop. Good.
We're just going to explain the background of the sign into the camera so folks have it.
My name's Mary Rohde, and my son is Riley Bassford, and it's almost the 5th year anniversary of his murder. And I've been here a long time with all these other fabulous folks. And this was the way that we used our energy this weekend to just take a moment, 8 hours or so, to write all the names and really represent these are the names of children who are no longer with us due to product design that these companies knew about all along. And truthfully, I know they're not all there, but they are all with us. They're all in our hearts. This is far too big. And the first should have been the last. I'll get that for you.
We'll get you the number.
My name is Mary Rohde, MaryRodee, and my kid is Riley Bassford, RileYBASFord. And I'm here with so many important parents, and we're representing Parents Rise and the Social Media Victims Law Center that came together with us to really help us get some clarity and justice for the harms that have happened to our families. And enough is enough. The first should have been the last.
It's 351 names on the banner from 2010 through 2025. And like Mary already said, we know there's many, many more, but this is who we have and many families that we're already connected to.
No worries.
Thank you. Nice meeting you, by the way. I'll talk to you in the future. We probably have some great stories.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah. He is one of the more amazing people I've ever met.
Oh, he's a great guy. All right. Y'all are welcome to come gather around. Team. It's all about the team. All right, half the reporters are in there, but I say we do this thing anyway. Okay, so the jury has spoken. They've awarded punitive damages. They awarded $3 million to match the actual damages. If they had awarded more, it probably would have been reduced down. So they saved the court and gave us a verdict that is much easier for us to handle on appeal. Several of the jurors wanted to give more. Some, they did not vote yes to it. Some of the jurors wanted to give less. Regardless, just giving an amount, saying that their conduct was worthy of being punished, is amazing. So we are deeply appreciative to the jury, deeply appreciative to everyone who's paid attention to this, and it is our sincere hope that these social media companies will be more responsible when it comes to things that can affect children. And that's kind of where we landed on it. Thank you guys for all your attention. I'm glad to answer any questions, but otherwise, yeah. I would have thought that it's likely we would get a bigger number. I do appreciate the fact that some of the jurors were holding for a bigger number. But one of the reasons I don't recommend a number is because I trust the system. And I trust people to try and assess what's right and best. And what they had to be attentive to is that this is a number specifically for Kaylee. And so in essence, they're saying we're going to take this young lady with social anxiety and double the amount that was given to her. And from that perspective, it's great. Now, if they had given $2 billion, that would be really nice for my curriculum vitae and nice for my bragging rights and my ego. But really, none of that's what's important here. So I don't think it's spin. I think it's just recognition that we got what we needed, and we got it in such a great way that we're deeply appreciative. We could enjoy more, but it would just immediately get reduced. It wouldn't change the dynamics of this at all.
Is this going to trigger many similar lawsuits?
Oh, we've already got thousands of these lawsuits on file. I'm sure there will be a boatload more, and this is the tip of the spear. And you've got to remember, this is what's called a bellwether. It's the first trial. In the history of American jurisprudence, it usually takes the plaintiffs 3 or 4 times to figure out how to win these cases. The plaintiffs are supposed to lose the first 3 or 4. We won. And so that's provocative in what it says to everyone. You know, you had Google's A team here. You had Meta's A team here. They had the best lawyers that their money could buy. And they went after us and went after poor Kaylee and her family like vultures over a carcass. I mean, they were all over everything, and they didn't win. And so we're deeply appreciative, and I do think it bodes well for the other thousands of cases that are out there. Yeah, so what this does for settlement is interesting because A, it says settlement should be in play. B, recognize, this is just coming closer. We're going to hang on for a minute. It's a fire truck. They found out social media is on fire. Hold on. Okay. I forgot settlement. This actually, in my opinion, helps the settlement posture. Because one of the problems I've had in cases historically, when I've tried these cases and gotten the $1 billion for this or the $1 billion for that, it makes settlement really hard because a lot of people say, hey, I should be entitled to my $1 billion. And when instead we're looking at realistically solid numbers, here $6 million. You've now got a company, Meta, or a company, YouTube, or any other company that says they've probably spent easily $6 million getting the case ready for trial and trying the case. And now they've got to not only pay for all of that, they've got to pay for appellate lawyers, and there's a $6 million award out there, and interest accrues on that now at a high rate. And so it allows them to put a valuation that may approach something more settleable than if we had had some astronomical figure that would have made it tough to settle. Yeah. How is Kaylee feeling was the question. Kaylee is so excited for 3 reasons. Number 1, she gets to go home. And she hadn't been home in 2.5 months. And for all of the things that were said, she wants to go home to her mom. She wants to go see her mom and take Mickey, her dog, and they're on their way home as we speak. And so she's excited about that. Number 2, she was very grateful. And she said that to me. And Kaylee, this was not a ruse. This is the truth. She suffers from social anxiety. It's really hard for her to deal with these types of events. And in the midst of all of that, she still wanted to make sure that we got the message and we passed the message on of her deep appreciation for all everybody did. And then her third thing is, to some measure, she feels like she was vindicated because she knows that what happened to her has happened to a host of countless people in her generation. And so she appreciates, and that's why even with social anxiety, she was willing to be this tip of the spear, this first case, even knowing that it was a dangerous place and a tough one to try. Of course they'll appeal. I mean, why wouldn't they? Number 1, they already know what the damage is, and all they're going to have to do is pay interest on it, but they get the time value of the money, not paying it out. Number 2, they get a chance to ask appellate courts over the next number of years to find any inkling of any trivial thing that is wrong that amounts to enough to reverse and remand it for a new trial or reverse and render. They get to try and assert their defenses that says they have a get-out-of-jail-free card. So they've got every reason to do it. Their lawyers get paid by and large by the hour, so they're not going to mind appealing it. So I'm not at all surprised they would appeal it. I'd be stunned if they don't. At this point, I am not scheduled to be the lead attorney. I think Tom may have left, but I think Tom and Raul and I don't know who else, Rachel, may be trying the next
Emily.
one. Emily back here. That's Emily Catherine Jeffcoat. That's an inside joke. They will be trying the next one, I expect. I've not been asked to try it. So I have not talked to him myself today, but I did talk to Karen. A number of us have, her mom, and she's so thankful, and she wanted to be here for this as well, but we urged her not to come because we didn't want it to be a focal point. We wanted the focal point to be just simply on this case. And we know that she had made the focal point of some of the trial, I think unfairly and harshly. And I didn't want to subject her to any of that. So she has not come here, but she has also just expressed deep gratitude and is tickled pink, I think would be a fair way to say it, that YouTube and Meta have been held accountable. Thank you, guys. Miss Reporter, great job.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
So where'd you go to law school?
Texas Tech.
Oh, okay.
I'm a Lubbock boy.
Why didn't you go there? Why didn't you? Because Ed Kincaid.
very busy.
anything, let me know.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Appreciate it. Get this thing is flexible, right?
I'm gonna move ship. I'm gonna move to this one with a sandbag.
Yeah, and my other daughter, she went to school here for acting, so she's an actress, and I just moved.
there.
Oh, yeah.
I put one up. All right.
Well, they're done, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, half the Eurotrain paparazzi's left, so I figured that's the end of it.
Yeah. I was going to set up over the show. Those live shots.
Jury's still at the station. No wonder I didn't have any help here. You go, oh, shoot the promo for the car.